I'm Steve, and this is my wife Amy. We have 3 boys, Ian, Seth, and Norman, and we have been members of Mercy Hill for about 5 years now. I knew Tony from the Welcome Network, and I was aware of what he was doing with the refugees, and I really liked that. We were around November. There was a family that had come here that we invited over, and they were from the Congo. You know, after they were here, Amy and I started thinking about maybe we could host a family. And so Amy was really up for it, and I was a little more hesitant. And around December, Tony contacted us and told us of a family that was a mom, dad, and a newborn baby that needed a place. And so I called Amy, and we were talking about it, and by the time I got back to Tony, he had already found a home for them. And I remember at that time when that happened, my heart kind of sank, and I just kind of felt like, yeah, we need to do this. Then there was a couple weeks later, Tony contacted me with a second family, and I contacted Amy, we talked about it for a minute, and when I got back again, they had found somebody else to take care of them. So Amy told me the next time this happens, don't even call me, just say yeah.
So we were a host family to a family of 3, a dad, mom, and their 5-year-old daughter. They had come from the Congo, and for political reasons, they were afraid for their lives, so they needed to leave. And their journey took about 13 months, and they went to a neighboring country in Africa, and then from there got to Cuba, and Cuba sent them down to Ecuador, and then, country by country, they journeyed up through South America and Central America till they arrived at the Texas border. So they contacted a Welcome Network, and Tony had said, yes, we have host families that are willing to have them come live with them.
After they had been here about a week, we invited the first Congolese family over here because we thought, them meeting somebody, that was from Congo, that would be helpful and it would let them feel at ease. So when they came in, I went and picked them up, and when they came in, the family came in, they had a husband, wife, and 5 kids. They came in, they were in the kitchen, and then our family came out. When they saw each other, all of a sudden they start screaming and crying, and I asked the mom, I said, do you guys know each other? And she goes, yes. And she said to the father of the first family, she said, this man was like a father to me growing up. I've known him. And to me, that was a time when I was like, well, God must be blessing this family, because there was, I don't know how many million of people are making this trip. And then these people go through that huge journey, and they end up a couple miles from each other, and they know each other, and it was just like, it was amazing. That was amazing.
One of the ways my faith was stretched is that I thought maybe I had a better handle on hosting people from Africa, because I had lived there for 2 years, and turns out I didn't. But here's a family sitting in our living room, waiting to be shown where they're going to sleep and where their bathroom is. And now that whole political oppression has a face to it. And I was very nervous. We felt we needed to, because God said, welcome the stranger and give a cup of cold water, expecting nothing in return. And I felt pretty empty, and Steve was nervous. So between the two of us, we weren't really confident that we could do this. So the stretch of faith was that we really had to depend on God.
During that time, the Lord really stretched my faith, because opening up your home to complete strangers, people you have no idea who they are, it's a big deal.
So we envisioned, kind of when we said yes to hosting this family, that we would bear the brunt of housing them, feeding them, driving them around, getting them to the health clinic, really doing whatever needed to be done for this family. And we were incredibly wrong. We found that not only our church family just they stepped up above and beyond. We had people at our doors at least 2-3 times a day, picking up people or dropping them off, inviting them over for dinners, giving us financial assistance in whatever we might need help in taking care of them. We just felt we thought we were going to do it by ourselves, and we were definitely not alone in helping this family. We were part of a family that was helping them.
When you do something like this, it can be very stressful, and I would get very nervous, and I'm a bit of a worrier anyway. So, but the thing that I noticed was when we were all here, and I could be worried about a bunch of stuff, and then we would all get together and we would pray. All that nervousness and everything went right away. It just did, and that was pretty cool.
Some of the difficulties we expected to encounter with the family from the Congo, obviously, is a language barrier and a cultural barrier. But one of the unexpected difficulties were rooted in our expectations of what it would be like to have another family live with us. I naively thought she and I would become best friends and we would do all my housework side by side. And that didn't happen, but wasn't just our expectations going in that were so different from reality, but their expectations of what life would be like once they finally arrived in the United States. I thought it was a real blessing that even though we had a hard time communicating, that we were all praying in our own languages to the same God, and we were like a big family then, like we were, our brothers and sisters in Christ from another country.
I think what I learned from this experience is that when you feel God tugging at your heart for something, you just need to go for it. You just need to go with it. And it's not always easy, but there's a reason for it, and you just got to do it. Yeah, other people have asked me if I would do this again, and was I happy to do it. I'm very glad that we did this. It was an amazing experience. It wasn't always easy. It was like a roller coaster. There was highs, there was lows, there was all that, but I'm really glad that we did it.